Ever wondered why retail workers look dead inside? That 1,000-yard stare isn't from folding shirts for 8 hours. It's from dealing with retail's final boss, the Karen. I've collected real stories from the front lines, and trust me, even I was shocked by number 7. Today we're diving into the 10 soul-crushing realities that make dealing with difficult customers retail's special kind of hell. You've seen those viral videos of customers throwing tantrums over expired coupons, but what you don't see is what happens after the camera stops rolling. That retail worker still has 7 hours left on their shift. Let that sink in. First up, the infamous "let me speak to your manager" syndrome. What starts as a simple policy explanation quickly escalates into a full-blown hostage negotiation. The average retail worker hears this phrase 3 times per week, with each interaction wasting approximately 15 minutes of their day. Think about it. That's almost an hour weekly spent appeasing someone who won't take store policy for an answer. But wait, you might be thinking, not all customers are like this. You're right. About 90% are perfectly reasonable. It's that unpredictable 10% that creates the constant state of anxiety. Like wildlife photographers waiting for a predator to strike, retail workers develop a sixth sense for spotting potential Karens before they even reach the register. Remember that time I mentioned expired coupons? That brings us to reason number 2, the selective reading skills of difficult customers. Signs clearly stating no returns after 30 days might as well be written in ancient Sumerian. A study found that 68% of retail confrontations start with customers ignoring clearly posted policies. The mental gymnastics required to explain why 50% off select items doesn't mean everything in the store is half price deserves an Olympic medal. Speaking of impossible situations, our third reason is the infamous "customer is always right" philosophy. This 1909 slogan has evolved from "find ways to satisfy customers" to "surrender your dignity to anyone who yells loud enough." The psychological toll: retail workers report feeling personally disrespected an average of twice per shift. That's over 500 times annually if you work full-time. Now, I have to ask, have you ever worked retail during the holidays? Then you know reason 4 all too well, the seasonal Karen migration. Like clockwork, the most demanding customers emerge during the busiest times, creating a perfect storm of unreasonable demands and limited resources. Last-minute Christmas shoppers are 40% more likely to dispute prices, demand exceptions, and complain about long lines they themselves are creating. Remember that anxiety I mentioned earlier? That feeds directly into reason 5, the performance review roulette. One negative survey can cancel out dozens of positive interactions. Many retailers tie employee evaluations and even compensation to customer satisfaction scores. Now imagine your performance being judged by someone who just had their return denied because they tried returning a clearly worn dress with the tags reattached with dental floss. Yes, that happens. Halfway through and still with me? Good, because number 6 hits differently, the smartphone effect. Before phones became extensions of our hands, difficult interactions stayed contained. Today, every minor disagreement risks becoming viral content. Retail workers now face the dual pressure of resolving conflicts while potentially being recorded without consent. Now for number 7, the one that shocked me. The physical toll of Karen confrontations. Retail workers report actual physical symptoms from high-stress customer interactions, including elevated heart rates lasting up to 45 minutes after difficult encounters. That's not just annoying, that's a health issue. Reason 8 takes us back to those policy explanations. The endless repetition. Explaining the same return policy 20 times daily creates a special kind of psychological wear. It's like explaining to a toddler why they can't have candy, except the toddler is a fully grown adult who should understand basic business concepts. The 9th reason, the impossible expectations. From demanding discounts for imaginary imperfections to expecting staff to be walking encyclopedias of inventory, difficult customers often treat retail workers like all-knowing, all-powerful retail wizards, rather than humans earning minimum wage. Finally, reason 10 brings everything full circle, the lasting psychological impact. Studies show retail workers experience higher rates of anxiety and depression, with difficult customer interactions cited as the primary cause. Not low pay, not long hours, but the cumulative effect of being treated as less than human by the customers they serve. So next time you witness someone berating a retail worker, remember, that employee isn't just having a bad day. They're enduring the 10th round of a psychological boxing match that never ends. What's your worst retail experience? Drop it in the comments, and if you've worked retail, share your own Karen survival story. Like and subscribe for more glimpses into jobs that deserve way more respect than they get.